Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back, I'm not going anywhere. But today is not gonna be a really funny haha, fan flipping, all of that kind of video. I wanna talk about something very, very serious. I've been thinking about this video since late last night, and what I wanted to say in it, and it's really important for me to put this video out, and for a couple reasons. I will tell you that I do have some notes. But there's two things that I want to address in this video. The first thing I want to address is, given the circumstance that has happened in the last couple days, I want to talk about what I want going forward. You know, it's interesting because I've watched hundreds of videos. The support that I have received, you guys, is surreal. I mean, it is so surreal to me. The unity that has occurred, not just within the beauty community, but within YouTube community, within the Twitter community, in the comment sections of it. I mean, it is so overwhelming to me that it really gives me hope, okay? That we have the ability to change things for the better going forward in 2018 and in the world, just period. And this is, you know, just one small thing that has happened. It's a blip. You know, like, it is a blip in the world. And so much support has come to me out of that. What is it we're going to do with that? And that's what I want to talk about, is what I want from this, okay? And then the other thing that I want to talk about is, how do I move on? Because one of the overwhelming messages I have received, and let me just tell you, the DMs on my Twitter are in the hundreds, if not thousands at this point. Instagram is the same. I can't keep up with it. You guys, my plan is to get to every single message at some point in the next week or two. So I promise you, okay? You know, and one of the things that's hard is that I get a lot of messages from people and they say, look, I'm a nobody. Like, I know I'm not anybody important. And what I think they're saying is, in regards to like these bigger YouTubers that have reached out to you, I'm not important. Like, they've said that, like, I'm not important. And I want to say this, okay? Every single one of you is important. You know, 6 months ago I said, if I only ever have like 5 followers on my channel, I will continue to make videos. Every person out there is important. Every person out there has a story. Every person out there, you know, has a response. And your life is important. Your message is important. And what you have to say about this is important, okay? So when I get those messages, it really is important to me that I respond especially to those and let those people know you are so important to me. And I can't tell you how much over the last couple days that when I've had a moment, you know, that's just like, I can't believe this is like, I'm living with this, right? That, you know, that I've opened my Twitter and there will be a message from somebody and it's like, okay, you're fine. Like, these people are incredible. Like, it is surreal, okay? And if I look at that with the power of love, then what I believe is that we can change anything for them. I really believe that. And this isn't just BS. I mean, this is something I talk about on all my channels, and people are always like, oh, you know, you think you can change the world. No, I really do. I think, you know, through love and kindness and compassion and forgiveness, we can change the world, and that's a lot of what I want to talk about today. The first thing I want to talk about is, what do I want moving forward? And then I'm going to talk about, how do I deal with going forward? Because a lot of people have asked me, like, how are you going to go on? And, you know, in my personal and in my YouTube life, you know, both people have asked me that. And I had a very interesting conversation with my best friend, my good Judy Tanya, last night, who has just been a shining star through this entire thing. And, you know, the one thing that's really been so cool through this is it has really enriched some friendships of mine that I have had, and it has made me realize so much the importance of what is going, you know, on in my life and in theirs, and to take a moment and say, okay, you know what, like, yes, this is happening to me, but what's going on with you? You know, like, how was your Christmas? How was your family? And to take the, you know, attention off of myself a bit. The other thing is that, you know, I found a lot of gratitude in this, because that's how I live my life, first of all, with this design for living of looking at things like, you know, acceptance, forgiveness, surrender, and gratitude. And, you know, I've had to look around the world and realize this ain't nothing compared to what's going on out there, you know? And it's made me a little bit more committed to changing the world for the better. And that's really the direction that I hope I go in 2018. So a lot of people are asking me, what do I want from this? And so let me tell you what I want from this, okay? Number one, I want to make this very, very clear. This is being dealt with off camera, okay? These things take a very long time to be done appropriately. I can't really say a whole lot more than that, but like, it's being dealt with. And I don't want anybody to question that I'm just gonna let this go. I'm not stupid, okay? That being said, I cannot live with anger and hatred in my heart on a daily basis. It's not healthy for me, and it's not healthy for anybody else. And, you know, like I said the other day in my video, they're just borrowing rent in my head for free, and I can't allow that. To move on, I have to take a look at all of these life lessons that I've learned through my life, right? Now, the other thing I want to say is that a lot of times when we are, you know, enraged and passionate about something that is wrong that has happened, we want to get on the offensive and we want to be hurtful back. I do not condone that in any way, period, okay? What I would ask moving forward is, ask yourself a question. Am I okay continuing to support this person that has put out such negativity in the world? If the answer to that is no, then you know what to do. Other than that, we don't need to send any negativity out there in the world. We don't need to do any of that. Like I said, this is being handled appropriately, okay? I do not condone any of that. All of my life, I have been bullied in one way or the other, okay? And, you know, it mostly happened to me from grades 1 through 12 growing up. And I had an amazing situation that happened to me where I had the ability to sit down face to face with my high school bully and have a conversation. And through forgiveness and love, we were able to move on. I consider him one of my greatest friends today. And I would give him the shirt off my back, you know, and I would allow him in my home to stay if he needed a place to stay. And he is just the most amazing guy. That being said, those people that support people that are being bullied, okay, a lot of times are putting themselves at risk. Because if you can no longer attack the person you are attacking, the next best thing to do is to attack their support system. Because if you do that, what you do is you isolate them alone. My guess is that that probably will start happening. I hope that we have shown through the unity that we have designed together in support against this bullying and harassment that has occurred, that the message that we will send out, no matter what, is: you cannot break us, and we are combined by love and compassion. That love and compassion trumps all, like that has been said in the past. And, but when that happens, okay, and I think it probably will, we have to be able to link our arms together and say, out of love, we will remain unified. I want to talk about this conversation that I had with my best friend last night, because we were sitting and we were driving around the car, and that's what we do. If you go to my Snapchat, you can see that we were up in the Meijer last night. We go shopping late at night and get fountain pops. It's real exciting. And I was talking to her about it, and you know, just imagine having to explain this whole situation, right, with your best friend, let alone your father, you know, let alone your family, and having to explain it to them. And they have been, you know, not one person has said anything other than, what do you need from me? That kind of support in my personal life, let alone in my, you know, YouTube life, is crazy. I have literally never felt as loved as I feel. And she said to me, so we were talking last night, and I said, I don't know, like, how to find stable ground with all this. And she's like, well, what do you do in your normal life? And I said, you know, like I said, I have a design for a living. I have, you know, recovery program and all those kinds of things. And, you know, I read inspirational things, and I go to Oprah and all kind of stuff. And she goes, well, why don't you do all of that? Like, if that's working for you. And I was like, why haven't, like, I done that? You know, because I had, like, prayed on it. I really thought about it. And I thought, you know, I was getting on my knees, doing the forgiveness deal and all that kind of stuff that I talked about the other day. So I watched all of these videos of Oprah last night, and I thought about all of these quotes that I had heard through the years that are really like inspiration for how I live my life. And for the person out there that is being bullied or has gone through horrible harassment like this, okay, and doesn't have tweets from amazing people with huge influence all the way down to the person that has no influence but just loves you, because that's just as overwhelming and awesome. But this person out there that has nothing, no support whatsoever, right? This is for you. And this is how you get through this, okay? Is you remember these things I'm about to talk about, because long before I was ever on YouTube, these are the things that resonated with me and helped me get through my daily life in dealing with toxic people. So the first one I want to talk about is the quote, "Forgiveness is giving up the hope that the past could be any different." And what that means is, when I look at a situation that happens to me, I cannot sit in it and go, why did this happen to me? I can't believe this happened to me. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? How do I do damage control? How do I do this? What am I gonna do? Blah, 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 blah. I have to look at it and I have to say, okay, so this has been what is handed to me. What do I do now? How do I turn this into an opportunity for change? How do I turn this into something that is good, not worse? How do I turn this into something that is a learning experience, not just for me, but for everybody else? What do I have to gain from the situation? Is this, in hindsight, really a gift, not something disgusting? What is it that I can do with the situation? I cannot change the past. So forgiveness is an opportunity for me to look at where I am right now in the moment, at that situation and that person, and say, I forgive you. For me and for you, I forgive you. The next one I want to talk about is that revenge is another way that ego shows itself. And this quote really resonated with me last night when I had found it, because it's really hard sometimes when you try to want to understand the why instead of the what of a situation. And I talked at length about this in my vlog last night. That my mother for years and years and years was consumed with this situation of like her relationship with my dad and why did it happen and this and why did it fail. And I would always say to her, what can you learn from this? Not why did it happen, And so in a situation like this, I have to look at, like what is to learn from this, right? And revenge is an ugly thing. Like I want no part of it. I do not need to be filled with pride and ego. That's not the street that I want to walk down. I want to walk in the direction of humility. And I have to practice humility on a daily basis. And if I practice ego and pride, if I put out mean, cruel things into the world, then that probably is what I'm going to get back. And I do not have time for that. Like I said, I have to live with love in my heart. The next quote that I want to say is that forgiveness is like medicine that gives you peace. And when I heard this, I was watching Oprah's aha moments and I'm like shedding tears, right? Because these people are talking and it's this woman in there and she's sitting next to the man that would have killed her if his gun hadn't lodged and like couldn't shoot the bullet. And she's forgiven this man. And Oprah says something to her like, you would give him a glass of water if he was like thirsty. And she said, absolutely. Forgiveness is unconditional. And I don't know that I'm there today, but that's where I'm walking. I'm walking in that direction because, see, forgiveness is really about freedom. Forgiveness is really about letting go of what has happened and letting go of the past. And it's allowing yourself to have this amazing world, that you can fill with finding exactly what you want in the world. Anger, resentment, ego, pride stop you from having everything you want in your life. And I'm just not willing to hand that over. The next one is forgiveness is letting go of the past, letting go of angry. I cannot be bitter anymore in my life. And there have been many times in my life that I have felt wronged. Trust me, this is not the first time. And I have had to forgive some people that it was really difficult for me to forgive. And, it was a lot of work. Forgiveness for me is not a one-time thing. You say it and it's done. It's not, a one and done kind of deal. Forgiveness to me is an action word. It's an action that I have to do on a regular basis. I have to do it in my interactions with all people, not just one person. And I have to show that I'm a different person. The next quote that I want to read to you is, I can't get it apart. When you hold on to your history, you do it at the expense of your destiny. And what that means is, if I become consumed with what has happened to me 3 days ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, and I don't let go of that, then what that means is I am not allowing myself my destiny of what's supposed to happen to me next. The good things are supposed to come my way. I'm not able to do that because I'm so holding on to the ugliness of the past, and I'm just not willing to do that. I'm not willing to give my life over. It's my life. It is too important to me, and your life is too important to you. Never allow somebody else to steal your destiny, because you don't ever know what is right around the corner. And holding on to anger and resentment stop us from having that destiny. The next one is, that's what you do with your pain, and I do something different with mine. And I was thinking about this Oprah where she goes on and she's meeting with these women that are in the Illinois State Prison, and they've all killed their children. And at the end of it, the one woman says to her, "Why don't you hate us?" And Oprah says, "Hate you? No, I don't hate you. I don't understand it. But see, that's what you do with your pain, and I do something different with mine." And we all act out in our pain in different ways. Hurt people. When people show you who they are, believe them. They know themselves much better than you do. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. And one of my favorite quotes that I heard last night was that every life, each and every single one of you out there, not just mine because this is what has been dealt to me this week, but every person out there, every life is a platform, every life is a story, and every life has worth and value. And the last thing I want to talk about is the power of belief. I have mentioned in many of my videos in the last couple months and the last couple weeks that I truly believe that good can be restored to what is happening on YouTube in the last few years, and that we can get back to what YouTube was really all about, that we can change the direction of how we are affecting and inspiring people, that the beauty community can be the beauty community inside and out, and I so truly believe that. But we are all, each and every single one of us, part of that, and we have to remember and choose wisely who we choose to support going forward. Do we choose to support somebody, that is putting out positivity, or are we choosing to support somebody that is putting out negativity? And that is not just between two people, that is about every person out there that has a platform. You each have a story, and every single one of your stories are important. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow.